My name is Dan Genovese, product manager at OMG Roofing Products, the inventors of the game-changing roofing system known as RhinoBond. And this is the Metal Rhino Podcast, where we talk everything metal. Not heavy metal, but instead RhinoBond for standing seam metal retrofit roofing. Today we have us William Frank from Allen Frank Roofing from Georgia.
Yes, sir. Macon, Georgia. Thanks for having us.
Excellent. Yeah, welcome aboard. And I have to ask, how did you guys make out in your area with the hurricane a few weeks ago?
Honestly, pretty good. The worst hit was my house, so all
No
good.
kidding.
Had some trees down in the backyard, crushed the garage, but all good. It really skirted a couple miles east of us and hit Augusta pretty hard. But we're in Macon, Georgia, so all seemed pretty well. Could have gone worse.
Okay. Well, I guess you were in a good position for what you do to straighten things out.
Yep, pretty easy, familiar steps. So all
right.
good.
Are you getting a lot of calls from this? A lot of repair work, and I can imagine.
We've been rocking and rolling for a couple weeks now since the storm, and just full guns. Anything and everything has gone wrong, but with some roofs. But that's the game.
Yeah, quite a mess, and thank God you made it through okay, and it's great to hear. So
no one got hurt. Things can be replaced.
This is true, and roofs can be replaced, which is
absolutely.
A good thing. Well, that's why we're here today, to talk a little bit about some RhinoBond, standing seam metal roofing. So, just in general, how long have you guys been doing RhinoBond in general?
We did our first job. It talked with my dad, and it was 2019. I had thought we'd been doing it a lot longer. When I was in college, jumping ahead, I remember going to our local rep's house and picking up a machine. One of the machines had gone down, and went over to the rep's house, got a machine, and got up and running. But it's really just been since 2019.
Okay. All right. That's a short window, but that's great.
Yeah. Right? It's all we do, really.
Okay. All right. And how often do you do standing seam metal recovers with Rhino?
That right now, that seems to be our bread and butter. We're about to start one. Actually, 2 seconds from our shop, going to be about 1,000 square retrofit. So that'll be a nice little job.
Okay, that's a great one. Now, when you get that call from a metal building owner, what do they ask? What are the options, and what's your sales pitch?
Well, they call and they say water's getting in, help. And so we go and assess your main types of metal roofing, or your screw down, or your mechanically seamed. This one across the street we're doing is actually a mixture of the both. It's both a standing seam, mechanically attached, mechanically seamed, and a screw down system. So we have two different varieties. This owner has already gone up and coated the roof years ago, and that coating is working fine in the middle of the panel, but at your fasteners and expansion joints, because it's 400 feet from eave to ridge, so there's some expansion and contraction there. That's what seems to be failing for them. So
yeah, I think you hit it right. And coating works great in the middle of the panel, but that's not where the problem is, right?
No, water can only get in where there's a hole. So when you make a hole, you give water a spot to get in, and screws have come a long way. The rubber washers have come a long way, but they still go, especially in Georgia. We've got some crazy heating and cooling. Started today, it was 40 degrees, and it's going to be 70 at the end. So
yeah.
That's quite that's a lot of thermal movement, especially on these metal roofs. So
absolutely, that's a great target. So let's get into a little bit more. So you've been doing it since 2019. It sounds like you've been doing it consistently. Yep. Give me a benefit over a mechanically attached roof. If I'm a building owner, and I'm considering mechanically attached or a Rhino, what do you tell me? What's the benefit?
Pros and cons to everything. We don't really think there's many cons to RhinoBond, but with your mechanically attached, you've got, we use mostly 10-foot sheets. I know they've got 12 and now 15. 10 foot's your common. So you've got an attachment every 10 foot, and you've got, on a mechanically attached, you've got the TPO that'll just sit there and flap and slap the roof. And for us as the installer, it doesn't make much difference to the owner, but we've got to worry about perimeter sheets and half sheets and getting all that installed and proper. And with RhinoBond, you can just rock and roll. And
Excellent.
so for us as an installer, it's easier. And as the building owner, you've got attachment down every purlin, and it's not attached. You're attaching straight to the purlin, to the structure of the building, and you're not screwing to your thin metal pan. We're just making the pan a form board for us to fill in. So we love it. And once you give them the sales pitch and show them a picture, we love it. The picture you've got on the sell sheet of the expanded TPO, where it's RhinoBond and then it's not. And you can see the lines of RhinoBond, and it's every 5 feet and instead of every 10 feet. So
okay.
Building owners have a lot of for not any more money, really, you get a lot better securement. And so it's an easy sell.
That's a good one. So, I imagine that means there's a lot of waste when it comes to mechanically attached. You got your 10-foot sheets, then you got half sheets.
And it's probably more on me, but we've done so much RhinoBond. If I have to do a mechanically attached, I've got to sit there and think about it. Okay, well, how many half sheets? How tall are we? It's just not something we do anymore. This is how many squares, get our RhinoBond, and all that's taken care of in your screw and plate.
Okay.
So,
all right.
A lot less waste.
This job you got coming up, you mentioned, what's the building housing? What's in it? Anything important?
So that's, what we're going over is a brand new industrial powder coating facility. And so it's really cool. We've been a part of the project for a while. They finally have decided, let's put a roof on the building. We've spent all this money. So it's, it's just a big old manufacturing. They make the cabinets for industrial generators. So the enclosures, they do that there. They have multiple facilities all throughout the South, and they build all kinds of stuff. Cool company.
And they got some leaks going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've been out 3 times in the last month. So, they got some issues. So we're excited to get them right.
Excellent. So you've been doing it since 2019.
Yep.
It's a little bit different than your traditional mechanically attached or fully adhered roofing. How long did it take your crew to get it, to figure it out?
Not long, a couple jobs. And on it, the first job we did with it was 1,000 square food processing facility. And we had OMG come out and explain it to us. It's pretty simple. If you know how to do adhered, you can probably do a RhinoBond system pretty easily. It's the same. Thinking about the TPO layout, you've got similar amounts of screws. You do have less, but it's nothing new, honestly. The only new part is you got to train someone how to put the machine and how to wipe the magnet. If you can do that, you can probably put a RhinoBond roof down.
That's not too bad. I think they can get over that, right?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We've got a couple of crews, and it's not hard to show the guys.
We were interviewing some contractors from Florida a couple of weeks ago. Talking about the storms and pull values and obviously the RhinoBond into a purlin, you're going to get over 1,000 pounds per fastener versus going into the pan. A couple hundred pounds. So especially in southern markets where it is so prone to rough weather, I got to imagine that's a big selling feature.
It is. I wouldn't think that there'd be many wind events around here, but we've done 2 blown off roofs in the last year. So clearly it's an issue. And Georgia, they're not a lot of checks and balances here. So you do have some shoddy roofers, but we do have pretty heavy winds and pretty rough weather. So any additional security you can add to that roof installation is good insurance, helps me sleep at night.
Okay. So you're a younger guy, and so you must have started is William Frank your father?
Yep. Alan's my dad. We've been been doing this he's been doing this since 2008 is when he got going by himself, been doing it longer for some other people. And really we've been a commercial roofing outfit. That's what we think we're the best at and what we strive to do. And we have just gotten hooked up since we started doing RhinoBond. It's all we've really tried to do. It's easier on us, easier on the guys. It's a better product.
Excellent. Well, that's great. Hey, a couple more questions because
right.
I know you're busy. You got to take care of things, and so let's say you're stuck in an elevator and you're at a trade show and there's another roofer in there, and he's never done RhinoBond in general, and he's certainly never done RhinoBond for standing seam metal. What's an elevator pitch that you got for this? Obviously, he's not a competitor of yours, but you're at a trade show, and
that's funny. I've got a friend out in Utah who I've got going on RhinoBond now. As a company, it's easy to sell. If you can learn the system and learn how to sell it and show the benefits of the product and the installation, and it's easy on the guys. It's you can sit there and kick rolls out, and you got a storm cloud coming, tack half the sheet down, weld it, and you're good. It'll be there in the morning. So your drying's easier, your setup is easier, the equipment's easy to use. You got OMG as a good, I have a question. I call my local rep. I've got an answer in a couple minutes. Hey, why isn't this plate welding? Well, you're doing something wrong. And so the support is great, and it's a great system. I can go to sleep at night, and I'm very confident that roof's going to stay on.
You can sleep well. That's great.
Yep.
That's great. And you mentioned, I believe Caleb is your man.
Yep. Caleb is kick butt. I mean, he is come in and saved our butt many a times.
We love Caleb. He's a good guy.
Yeah, really good guy. Great working with him. He came out.
Go ahead.
He came out. We did a job, not a standing seam retrofit, but it was a lightweight concrete with a form pan. And Caleb came out and did all the pull test and everything, and got us, and we ended up RhinoBonding it, where we would have had to either fully adhere, tear off. You could do a mechanically attached, but RhinoBond ended up being the best hybrid system. I mean, with the support from y'all and the equipment, it's a no-brainer.
Excellent. Hey, let's wrap it up. This is the Metal Rhino, and we're kind of going off on heavy metal. You're a young guy. What do you listen to for music?
Well, recently, heavy metal. Well, I've been listening to a lot of Alice in Chains, some Pantera, but we'll switch it to some Johnny Cash or some Billy Strings.
Classic.
Yep.
Billy Strings.
Loving the class. Loving some Billy Strings lately. We're going to see Brett Cobb in a couple of months in Nashville. One of our good friends is going to be playing acoustics there, so excited to see that. We're a big music people. Macon's the home of the Allman Brothers, so we love it.
Yes, sir. I saw Billy Strings about a month ago. And
really?
I was stunned. They don't even have a drummer.
Mm-mm.
It's just old fiddles and guitars.
Just a bunch of guys having fun.
And let me tell you, he is very underrated. But I guess if you know him, you know him.
You know him. He's becoming popular, but seems to be a real down to earth guy, and those kind of musicians. That's what I'm looking for. So excited to see where he ends up. Yeah.
Excellent. He's the Jimi Hendrix of the fiddlers.
Yep, he really is.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to work. Thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for your business, and let's go take care of that storm damage.
Oh, yeah. Let's go get it done and get these on.
Excellent. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you so much.